Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we got is hot. I'm your host, Zach Jackson, here at another episode I have for you guys today. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. Hope you guys are going to have a great day. We're here on Friday, February 14th, currently 5:10 p.m. Eastern Time. We are powered by StreamYard, where StreamYard makes the dream yard go. We're here on Season 6, Episode number 33 on the Fire Sports Pod. We got 3 segments for you all today. We're going to be going over the NBA standings so far as we hit All-Star Weekend happening this weekend, started tonight. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday events. We will probably resume next week from the All-Star Weekend. We're going to be going over the NBA standings so far through the All-Star as we start up to the next of the All-Star Weekend. And we'll be going over each team's standings and how I see them fit for the next 30 or so games at the end of the season. And then our second segment, we're going to be going over Deebo Samuel has requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers. The question is where will he go? What team is the right fit for him? And do we see him going to the top fitted teams? And then third and last but not least, we have Ben Simmons. As we know, Ben Simmons has now made his way to the Los Angeles Clippers. Will he be able to get his career back, I would say. And we'll be going over that and see how I see him fitting with the Clippers and can they make a good run at the good run in the playoffs. For me, we'll be going over that. So first up, we're going to be going over the NBA team standings. So let's get right into it. We're going to present our screen and we're going to be going over those team standings. So far, you have the Eastern Conference, where we have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 44-10. Obviously, guys, Cleveland is on a tear, just like OKC. Cleveland, Boston, both teams are going really strong this year. Definitely the tops of the tops. Cleveland's 44-10. They ended to the All-Star break at an .815 winning percentage, 29-7 in the conference, 9-1 in the division. And 25-4 at home, 19-6 away. In the last 10, they're 8-2, and they've won 4 straight. Cleveland is going to be at the top. I don't like when people say, after the All-Star break, Cleveland's going to do bad. No, they're not. I think Cleveland's going to be still the number 1 seed at the end of the year. I think Boston is going to be close behind, 39-16. I don't think they catch up to Cleveland. I think Cleveland has a substantial 5.5 game lead. I think it gets lower a little bit, but I think ultimately Cleveland gets the top seed at the end of the year. Boston, to me, 39-16. They have them ups and some downs, man. I really am not confident, but they have the team definitely to repeat as champions, or at least get to the finals in the East. Boston has that power. They have Porzingis, they have Tatum, they have Brown, they have Holiday. They have White. They have everybody returning, and more importantly than last year, they are fully healthy, and they're staying fully healthy. So let's hope that they stay healthy. As a Lakers fan, I don't care for Boston, but Boston is a very good team. Now, it's crazy to say, but the Knicks are now back in it. They are one of the top 3 teams in the East. They are 36-18. For me, the Knicks, they just have to stay consistent. I think Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson are great, and they're one of the best duos in the NBA. But I think team-wise, overall, they have to stay consistent. There's been times where they've been lackluster either. If Karl-Anthony Towns or Jalen Brunson doesn't have good games, there's really not another guy that can really put it over the top, because that other guy was supposed to be OG Anunoby, but he's been hurt since that Lakers game. So we'll see what happens if he comes back relatively soon. But right now, the Knicks are solid at the 3rd spot. They could definitely compete with Cleveland and Boston. Now, winning in a 7-game series is going to be tough, but I think Knicks, if not anybody in the East, could give the Boston or Cleveland a run for their money in a 7-game series. Now, for Indiana at 4, they are 30-23. Indiana's up and down. Tyrese Halliburton has been up and down all year. For me, I think the Pacers can be better. If they just get everything consistent and a consistent play. Halliburton has been up and down here and there, every other where. He hasn't been consistently as good as he was last year. Not even close. The Pacers are still one of the top 4 teams in the East, but the East is kind of weak, man. You got the 3 teams, and then when you go below that, it's really anybody's game. So you got the Pacers there. You have Milwaukee at 29-24. They have a solid squad. They have Kuzma. They have Giannis. They have Dame. Dame and Giannis, especially Dame, hasn't been able to stay as healthy as he has in the past. So if they can stay healthy now with the adding of Kyle Kuzma, if they can stay healthy, they're going to be a team to look out for come playoff time with that big three. Pistons 29-26. Just last year, they were the worst team in the NBA. Had one of the worst losing streaks in. It was the longest losing streak in NBA history. I think the Pistons definitely have climbed the ladder. Kane Cunningham, everybody has been playing out of their mind for the Pistons, and I think they can do some damage against a team. I don't think they're going to win a series, but they can definitely put some pressure on whoever they play. No matter if it's Cleveland, no matter if it's Boston, no matter if it's New York, because they're a hard-nosed, gritty team. But I would never pick Detroit to beat any of the first three teams. Pacers, possibly Milwaukee, maybe not. Just depends. Orlando, they need to stay healthy. They're at the 7th spot at 27-29, below 500. Franz Wagner and Paulo Banchero have been playing very good since they came back from injuries. But the fact of the matter is just two players cannot bring your entire team. I mean, they had 37-31 a couple games ago, and they lost. You should win that game when both your top players combine over 60 points. Hawks 26-29. They're here and there. They let go DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs, and now it's just literally Trae Young there. So I think Trae Young is going to be moved probably in this offseason. I would be very surprised if he doesn't, because the fact of the matter is I think he's wasting away his great years in Atlanta. They're a shit show of a franchise, and they just don't know how to bring in good talent. I don't think anyone wants to go to Atlanta. That's the problem. Number 9, Miami. You have 25-28. The Heat. We all know the Jimmy Butler situation has really chucked them all the way down. They've gotten some valuable assets in the trades and the moves, but still they're a rebuilding team. It's going to be a while for them to get back to where they were a couple years ago in the Eastern Conference and making it into the playoffs. I think they squeak in, but as a playing team, and I think they get outed in the first round. Chicago Bulls, like I said, they let go Levine. There's a possibility of letting go Lonzo in the future. So I think Chicago's just a shit show of the franchise. Them and the 76ers are going to keep going back and forth. And don't forget the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn is only 5 games back from the 9th spot. So you can definitely see Brooklyn getting in there in the playoffs and squeaking in there if Chicago, the 76ers, tiled down, because Brooklyn has been able to beat some pretty good teams of late. Brooklyn's been pretty good so far. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They've won 3 straight. 76ers have lost 5 straight, and the Bulls have lost 4 straight. The Heat have lost 4 straight. So there's definitely some room to climb for the Brooklyn Nets. If they could even get possibly up to the 9th spot, maybe even the 8th spot if they keep going some consistently. So 76ers, Brooklyn 20-34. 76ers are a shit show. Joel Embiid is just never healthy. He's wasting away. He's not the same. He's definitely going to get surgery in the offseason on his knee. Paul George was a worst contract ever to get. He is definitely not the same player. I don't know what happened to him. I really don't. Tyrese Maxey is the best player, and they should try to build stuff around Maxey. You might even go on a limb here to maybe be trading Joel Embiid in the future. Who knows? So I'm going to just really go over anybody to have a chance in the playoffs. Toronto, their new squad has a shot to make it. They're only 3 games back from the 11th spot, and they're only 5 games back from the 10th spot. So they can make a push, especially with their new squad, in adding Brandon Ingram to the squad with another 3-year, $120 million contract extension with Toronto. I think they definitely have a shot, but if they don't make it, I think next year they'll play much better and they'll be in the playoffs definitely because they have the squad to do it. Charlotte, again, LaMelo has no help. It sucks because he's averaging almost 30 a game. And he wasn't in the All-Star game, and they're not even in contention for anything. And then the Wizards are just an abysmal franchise. That's where careers go to shit. They're a dumpster fire. So definitely from 12 to 1 to from 12 to 4. I should actually no. From 12 to 6, there is very room to grow. There's a separation of 9 games from 12 spot to the 6th spot. There's definitely room to move. Milwaukee as well. So there's definitely room to improve. Can these teams make that improvement? We'll see after the All-Star break. We got about 27 to 30 games remaining in the All-Star break. We're at 54 for Cleveland, and it's 82. So you got about 28 more games around there, 28, 30 more games left after the All-Star break. So it's really cracking down. Playoffs are almost about 2 months away. We're almost there, man. It's crazy how fast this is going. So yeah, that's the East right there. Now we go to the West. Now the West has always been more powerful, and we definitely see it here. You have OKC at 44-10, tied with Cleveland for the best record in the NBA. OKC has been playing phenomenal. They're absolutely monstrous. They're 25-9 in the conference, 7-2 in the division, 25-3 at home, 18-7 on the road. They've won 8 of their last 2. They just lost last night to the Timberwolves, the first game out of 53 games that they have not led in the game, which is crazy. Memphis is right behind them, 36-18, 8 games back. OKC definitely has a monster head above OKC, but Memphis definitely can make a move and a comeback. Memphis is good enough. They have John Morant, and John Morant's not even playing that well this year. He is not playing his normal self. He's still only averaging 20 a game, but everybody else is stepping up. They're really a team. They're really a real team. They play off each other, which is great. Denver is 36-19. They're always going to be in it. With Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray just dropped 55 the other night. Nikola dropped 26 in a triple-double. They're 8.5 games back from the top spot. They're only a half a game behind Memphis. They basically have the same record, just one more loss in the loss column for Denver. Houston is right there, 34-21. They just lost to the Warriors. They're going to be in it. And then my Lakers, man, 32-20, baby. I know we lost to Utah, but still, I don't care. We're right there, man. We're right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're right there. We're about 11 games back, but we're only 3 games back from the 2 spot, if you look at it. 3 games back from Memphis. So there is a lot of ways that we can gain here. We're only 4 back in the win column from Memphis, and we're only 2 back in the loss column from Memphis. So we're right there. Lakers are playing good basketball. They've won 8 in their last 10, 8 of their last 10. They've only lost 2. They've played really well. The Clippers are going to be there. They're 31-23. With the addition of Ben Simmons, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. I think will do wonders for them. I hope Ben Simmons just needs to average like 12, 15 a game and get a double-double and maybe get like 5 assists. That's really all he's got to do to make a movement here. I think that big 3 is going to do something. We'll see if Ben Simmons can get out of his head and actually really play basketball. But the top 6 there are really close. I mean, from the 2 to the 6, they're neck and neck. They're separate 5 games or less between the 2 and the 6 spot. So they're right there. The 1 spot, OKC, is on another island by themselves. But don't be afraid. I think Denver, I think Memphis, I think the Lakers, and I think the Rockets can definitely give OKC a run for their money. I'm going to go on a limb here. I want to see if we see OKC in a 7-game series. I'm taking my Lakers all day, baby. I think they get the job done. Minnesota at 7, 31-25. Dallas at 8, 30-26. As we know, the addition of Anthony Davis, he is now out. Gafford is out. Lively is out with injuries. It just figured as soon as he got traded, everyone got hurt. But Dallas still got Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, guys that know how to win, a championship pedigree. They're going to be there in the playoffs. They're going to be a play-in team. I think they could make it past the second round. I think next year will be a better year for them as everything is a cohesive unit and they can all stay healthy. I think that will be better. Minnesota, I always have faith in Minnesota, especially with Anthony Edwards. As we know, Karl-Anthony Towns was a big loss. We saw it. We see it with the offensive deficiency of late for Minnesota. But they've been doing some good things. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They've been trending in the right direction. Sacramento, 28-27 with the move with Zach LaVine. They lost De'Aaron Fox. They might not even make the playoffs. I'm going to say Sacramento doesn't make the playoffs. I think Phoenix does. I think it's going to be Phoenix 9, Warriors 10, Sacramento at 11. And I think everybody else stays kind of similar. I think the Lakers could get up to the 3 seed, maybe even the 2 seed, depending on how well they do in the second half of the season. Sacramento, I just think that they lost their guy, obviously DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine duo yet again, Sabonis, Malik Monk. They're a good team maybe next year, so they can have a full year together. But right now, I don't think they're going to do too much. Golden State, they're always going to stay in it because of the fact that you have Steph Curry. Now you add Jimmy Butler. But I think they're going to be a play-in team, and I think they might be outed in this first round. They could get to the second round, but there's a possibility they might be gone in the first round. I just don't think they have enough to compete this year. The Suns, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, they stay healthy. They'll be good. Bradley Beal, I think they're just on a bad streak right now. They're 3-7 in the last 10. Phoenix is now 26-28. San Antonio is there. They're close. They're only 3 games behind Phoenix in the win column. So I think San Antonio could make a push, but I think they just get out. I think Sacramento probably drops to the 11th, and San Antonio stays at 12. Portland, they've been winning some good games, man. They've been playing really hard against some really good teams and beating some really good teams at 23-32, but Portland's very young. They're going to have a bright future. Scoot Henderson has been playing much better than he did his rookie year. Utah is a pain in the ass. They're a bullshit franchise, 13-41, even though they beat the Lakers still. New Orleans is just a mockery. Zion can never stay healthy, can never get on the floor for more than one game. They're 13-42. So I think the West standings kind of stay similar. It's much more impactful. It's much more closer, as you could see from the 2 all the way to the 6. There are a difference of 5 games. From the 7 all the way to the 10, it's a difference of 2.5 games. So I think despite OKC, I think they're right there. I mean, if you look from Minnesota to San Antonio, there's a difference of 6 games. If you didn't look from Memphis to LA, there's a difference of 5 games. So both tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and part of tier 4, they're right there. I mean, Oklahoma City, just like Cleveland, is on another stratosphere. They're on tier 1. Behind everybody else. But yeah, there's definitely potential for some teams to make some moves coming at the second half of the NBA season. So far, I think OKC stays at 1. I think Denver moves up to 2. I think the Lakers get to 3. Memphis drops to 4. Houston gets to 5. LA stays at 6. I think Dallas stays at 8. I think 7 stays with Minnesota. I think Suns get to 9. Golden State stays at 10. San Antonio would be moved to 12. No, San Antonio would stay at 12. Sacramento would drop to 11. Portland would stay at 13. Utah will be at 14. And New Orleans will be at 15. That's for the West. I forgot to do this for the East. But for the East, I'd probably have Cleveland staying at 1. Boston staying at 2. I think Knicks stay at 3. I think the Bucks move to 4. Pacers drop to 5. Pistons stay at 6. I think the Magic stay at 7. I think the Hawks stay at 8. I think the Bulls get up to, I think the 76ers get up to where the Heat are at 9. I think the Nets get to 10. And I think the Heat just missed the playoffs at 11, and the Bulls dropped to 12. I really got faith in the 76ers. I think they would turn something around, at least get into the playoffs at 9. And I think the Nets make a push, and they get into the playoffs at 10. And then I would have Miami at 11, Chicago at 12, Toronto stays 13, Charlotte's at 14, and Washington's at 15. So that's pretty much the NBA standings for me. We're going to be moving on to our second segment, and that will be going over Deebo Samuel, ladies and gentlemen, because he's the talk of the talk. As we know, Deebo Samuel, team next odds, Steelers favorite should the 49ers trade star wide receiver. I think the 49ers do trade him, and I think they trade him to a team that probably is not going to be in the NFC. I don't know why the Cowboys are not even on this list. They should be on this list trying to call to get Deebo. The only reason why he's not on this list is because the fact of the matter is that Jerry Jones doesn't do nothing to improve the team. Absolutely not. Does do nothing to improve the team. So why would he go out to get this guy? This would help out our running game. This would help our wide receiver to help out and take the double teams. If there's CeeDee Lamb's getting doubled, you have another guy that can catch the ball and is a veteran and knows how to play the position. 49ers to keep Deebo is at plus 250, obviously, because he requested the trade. They didn't say that they were going to trade him. Steelers plus 550. I think that's a good, viable option, no matter who's the quarterback there. If it's Aaron Rodgers, if it's Russell Wilson, if it's Justin Fields, no matter what, I think the Steelers will benefit from that. Adding another wide receiver to help out George Pickens, I think will do wonders. Broncos or something. Bo Nix could use somebody along with his guy. I think that would do something there. I would like to see him in a Broncos uniform. That would be pretty cool. Panthers, don't think he goes there. They're a pain in the ass. They do need a second wide receiver to help out Adam Thielen. It could go well, but I don't think he goes and says, fuck my career, I'm going to the Panthers. Commanders, that'll be scary. You add him and Scary Terry. Oof, that's going to be something. Patriots, that could be a possibility. They're up and coming. They got a rookie in Drake May. They definitely need a number one wide receiver, and he could be that guy. The Chiefs, they're always going to be on this list because the fact of the matter is the Chiefs, and they could be losing a couple of their wide receivers. Maybe thoughts on bringing a Deebo Samuel could be something. And the Bills definitely need a number one and a guy that could catch the football. And obviously they made it to the AFC Championship game and they were playing really well. But if you add a number one wide receiver to that Bills offense, it's going to be wonders next year. And the Chargers, they're looking for somebody that can really take the reins and help out Justin Herbert, especially in the passing game. So I definitely think all of these options are great. Cowboys definitely not going to be on it. Jerry Jones doesn't do nothing. Maybe it could be a surprise. I think the best bets for me are Steelers, Broncos, Bills. Broncos, Steelers, Bills. I think those are the possibilities. I don't think they're going to give him to a NFC team. That's just my take on that. I think he's just worth too much, and I don't think they're going to just want to see him in the playoffs or anything. I think they want to see him. If anything, they're going to see him in the Super Bowl. They're not going to take a chance at putting him in the NFC. And I think that's smart. He's a great talent. He's just not producing in San Francisco, but I think if he goes to another team, he would help out that team greatly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a quick little segment here on Deebo Samuel. I think the Steelers really have a good odds to pick him up, no matter who's the quarterback. Broncos are right behind him for me, and right behind that, I would say the Bills. I think the Bills should go after him definitely. Chiefs, while also their cap is really bad, they would have to move some guys around to bring in Deebo and cut some guys. So that's why it's really not going to be a possibility for the Chiefs unless somebody leaves or they cut somebody. Or they restructure a contract like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' contract. So that's pretty much it for Deebo Samuel. Our next one would be Ben Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, Ben Simmons has made his way to the LA Clippers in their new stadium. Now, how would this turn out for the Clippers? Will this work out? I would say it's going to work out. You know why? Because I think the Clippers are lacking somebody that can really take on a point guard role and really just make layups, get to the basket, create for the team, and just be a force like a 6'7" point guard. You can grab rebounds, you can pass the ball, you can defend. He just got to do the little things. I think all he has to do is just maybe get 12 to 15 points a game, 10 rebounds, 8 to 10 rebounds a game, and about 5 to 6 assists. And I think you're golden. Add that with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. I think you got a big three in LA for the Clippers. It's just the fact of the matter is it's got to stay consistent. Now, obviously, he felt like he was wanted by the Clippers after the Nets contract buyout. Obviously, I didn't think it was a great fit for him to be on the Nets. I think the Clippers is not a bad fit. They definitely need somebody to really take that role as the point guard, and I think this guy does that, definitely. So I would say it's a good fit. Not a great fit. I think this is a good fit. It will be great depending on how well he plays and if his mindset is in the correct way. Other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show here on this Valentine's Day night. Hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day. Enjoy it with your significant others or your parents or your grandparents or just family in general. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys here yet again on Season 6, Episode number 34 on Recap Monday. We didn't have our boy Irv on, our co-host. He'll be back with us on Monday. So again, guys, shout out to everybody out there. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Enjoy the All-Star weekend, man. It's going to be great. I hopefully the teams play better. I hope it's better competition. I hope they actually give a shit and they try. If not, we're going to have another change in the All-Star probably next year. Other than that, guys, that's my last thing. See you guys later. Catch you guys on Monday. We are powered by StreamYard, where streaming makes the dream yard go. This was Season 6, Episode number 33. We'll see you guys on Season 6, Episode number 34 on Recap Monday next week. Peace.